Two things I remember about North Park. One was the dance floor. Watching people entertain themselves through dance, that was really fun here at North Park. And then the other thing, of course, we had the pool, but the carousel. It was one of two in town. And it was a Denzel carousel, and it was sort of like the one downtown Burlington, but sort of not, because the horses on this carousel weren't as nice as the ones on the other carousel, but we could still ride, and that was fun. But that was that separate but unequal kind of thing. So we would drive up what is now Church Street. It was Highway 70. It was a 2-lane highway. I distinctly remember. And I remember being a little girl in the car, looking out the window, passing Burlington City Park and seeing that carousel, which was lit up and playing music. And I was like, Daddy, I want to ride that carousel. And he said, not today, honey, not today, maybe one day. So now every time I pass it, because I pass it going back and forth, I think of his words, not today, honey, not today, maybe one day. When I chose to be a dentist, I did not have a female dentist role model. I became interested in dentistry at a very early age. I want to think it was 8 or 9 when I first started to lose baby teeth. And back then, if you wanted to research something, you had to use the encyclopedia. So I pulled the Encyclopedia T and started reading about teeth. And I became interested that way. And I didn't realize, teeth dentistry, I didn't realize that this was something a girl couldn't do. So I come from a long line of teachers. I set out to establish a solo private practice that was a little unheard of for an African American woman. And I had put all my ducks in a row. I had a business plan. I had a way that I wanted to do this. I had a vision for my practice. And I had to secure financing for equipment. And I remember it was in the middle of summer, and I had on my best cool summer clothes, and I'm going from bank to bank trying to secure a loan for my equipment. And I distinctly remember going to one of the banks, and he said, well, okay, the only way we can give you this loan is if you get your parents to co-sign with you and have them put their house up for your equipment. And it was a hot summer day. It was probably the 3rd or 4th bank I'd been to, and I'm like, sir, I can't do that, because you and I both know that this equipment will stand for itself. I will not ask my parents to do that. I said, I understand if you can't support an African American woman trying to start a business with a good business plan. I said, do you not realize that my degree is just like a Caucasian male that you would walk in here and get a loan? Do you not realize that we are the very same? I said, I can't do that, and I won't do that, but thank you for your time. And I got up and left. So I think it was probably the 4th or 5th one that I went to who finally agreed to finance the equipment. Why not? Why not? I mean, who told you that? You got to validate the person who said that to you, because sometimes if somebody tells you that you can't do anything, it's because of their own inequities. They're the ones with the problem, not me, because I can do anything. Story. When I was in dental school, I had this professor, because I was probably half the size I am now, and he said, oh, you'll never be able to take out teeth. I was like, really? And then he was like, well, you're going to have to use your head. And I'm like, okay. And I thought about the fact that, okay, so you got a tough tooth to take out. You section it and take it out in pieces. So if it's little pieces come out a whole lot easier than one big bulky tooth. So I always think about that, using my head and not my brawn. I think that being a black and being a woman has put me in a position to be in places oftentimes alone, in a man's world, in a white man's world. And I remember so many times I have been in environments where I probably was the only one. But the more I talk to my colleagues and people that I may have been a little bit leery about, I have come to realize that I know just as much as they know. I'm no different than they are. It's just that I might look different. So, and that's okay, because I like the way I look, and it's okay that I look different from them. One of my messages to young women would be to be prepared to do whatever it is that you want to do, and even if you have to go it alone, as long as you're prepared, everything's going to be just fine.